In this video, I made a game in 10 minutes. This was intense and one of the hardest game making challenges I've ever done, so let's get into it. So the first thing I did was I added a rigid body and a circle collider to my player. This meant I could add physics and other things to it. Then I coded the movement script. At first I was thinking of just tap your spacebar to go up, like in bouncing, like in the game Flappy Birds. But then I wanted to add a bit more to this, as you'll see later. So I first tampered around with a bit of Flappy Bird script. What this does is it takes a number, which is the velocity or the speed that I want to go up by, and when you press space, it shoots you up that high using the rigid body, which applies forces. That may be a bit confusing if you've never used Unity, but if you have, there you go, that's how I did it, scripts on the screen. So now, after fixing a few mistakes, I realised I had about 6.5 minutes left. So while thinking how could I go on with this game, I thought, what if I try to make it so that you can also go in different directions? So I was thinking, what do we usually use to move in different directions in games? And so I thought arrow keys, but I thought that was a bit boring. So then I jumped onto WASD. And all the while I was thinking about this, I was testing, as you can see on the screen. But then I opened up my script and I started coding the WASD with only less than 5 minutes to go. So I copied the script for the space, but instead of space I put it as A and as D, as you'll see in a minute. I then changed the rigid body from shooting you to make it shooting you right and left. That's fairly simple to grasp, I hope. Then I made some walls, as you can see here. These were just squares or blocks with circle colliders attached to them. This meant that you couldn't leave the box. It was fairly simple after a while of tampering around trying to get the lines to be straight. I then edited how big the camera was so I felt it perfectly fit the box into the camera. Then I finished off the character player movement controller, and then I made the bottom bar. I had 2 minutes left and I wanted the bottom bar, when you hit it, collide with it even, I wanted it so that you would have to restart the level, sort of like a challenge to not touch the bar as gravity was pulling you down. So I quickly coded this with 1 minute left to go, and I tested it with 48 seconds and it worked. I was so relieved at this point that I changed the colours to red, made a nice sort of airy looking background, changed a few of the colours, and later decided I didn't like this at all, so I changed them back just in time. So, while testing this, you can download the game in the link in the description at itch.io, play around on it, it's on Chrome so you won't need to download anything, and I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you next time, bye bye.